Okay, so I have a bunch of things I want to go through, but I want to give everybody a chance to ask questions and talk as well. So, but I first want to just introduce everybody, to just introduce yourself and just give a little bit of reason as to why you have chose to be a coach, just so we kind of can all get on the same playing field. I can go first. I'm gonna just do my shortened version of my story, but I can kind of tell you a year and a half ago how I got started. I belonged to Snap in Wapaton, and the only thing I would ever do there is I'd walk in the door and I'd go straight to the.
I'm not sure if it's just my internet or yours, but everybody's
Oh, it's hers.
Yep.
I'd walk in, I'd go to the treadmill, I'd run, and I'd leave. I didn't know what to do with the weight training machines. I didn't have a desire to learn how to use the weightlifting machines, until one day I saw a gal, and I didn't know who she was at the time, but she was doing some kind of video in the aerobic room. And I decided that I was going to ask her if I could join her, which was way out of my comfort zone, because it looked like she was using some weights and it looked like something I'd be able to follow. I don't like aerobics classes simply because I'm not coordinated, and in a big group of people, I just was never very comfortable with that. So anyway, I started joining her, and I joined her like 3 days in 1 week. She just said, come again tomorrow morning. So I joined her for another video. Totally fell in love with them. I decided that I was working harder probably in those 30 minutes than I did on the treadmill for 60 minutes. I was probably getting a better workout in 30 minutes. So that's kind of how I fell in love with, and it was the 21-day fix. So of course I go and I buy the DVDs separately and didn't get the Shakeology. Started using the container, started doing the workouts. And then, of course, Autumn had said that if you drink this Shakeology, you'd get better results. And so I thought, you know what? I've got 15 pounds of baby weight that I couldn't get rid of. Even running, I couldn't get rid of it. So I ordered Shakeology as a discount coach, strictly. Wasn't going to run it as a business, nothing. I had no intentions of that. And I didn't even know what it was when I ordered it. Until I got started and started seeing more results and felt better with Shakeology. And surprisingly, I actually saw results with Shakeology as I didn't with many other products that I've used in the past. I mean, I tried Advocare, I've used Herbalife, you name it, I've tried it. I've done Profile by Sanford. I've used them all. And so that's kind of how I got started. I was very hesitant to be posting on social media. I'm not real, I wasn't, I'm growing into it, but I was very self-conscious. I'm not really like super outgoing, and I had no previous experience with network marketing, none. I mean, I'm a nurse, I didn't know anything about it. I posted to Facebook very infrequently, maybe a picture of my family or my kids or whatever, until I just started taking it a step further and start building it more as a business. So that's how I kind of got into it and got started. And I have enjoyed every minute of it since I joined. So
I can go next if you want.
Brenda, you want to turn up your volume?
Yes, I can. This computer is not the best, I'll say that. Get what you pay for, I think. Hold on. Does my volume's all the way up? Maybe I'm just talking to you. Can you hear me now?
That's a little better.
Okay, I think I just have the computer too far away. I enjoyed your story, Alicia, and it's interesting because I've known you for some time, but we never really got to know each other, which is kind of weird, right? You spend all this time in the same building, working and going to school together. Yeah, I'm a nurse also. I'm Brenda, and
There you go.
so were you finished? I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, yep, I can hear you now. You're good.
Okay, the reason I started was because I was in nursing and LPN on the floor, and I felt towards the end of my career, all we were doing was shoving meds in people's mouths, and it felt like forcing people to take pills, and it felt like forcing people to eat when we said, and get up and take a nap, and everything seemed so structured. After a while, I started feeling like that's not what I signed up for. I think you and I had talked about that, Lisa. It's not what I signed up for. I wanted to help people and make them happy, and it didn't feel like any of that was happening in the nursing home situation for me. So I got out of nursing, and I didn't know what to do. I've managed some stuff here in Hankinson, and I was deputy auditor for a while, and sitting at a desk all day long I can't do it. I'm not built for that. I just can't do it. So we had some differences, and that job, I just said no. When about a year, 1 week, and 2 days ago, I actually have to start before then. So then I got out of nursing, couldn't decide what to do. Found out 2 years ago in November I might have breast cancer. And so I started self-medicating, drinking, smoking, just whatever, every time I had a bad day. And eventually it ended up becoming a really bad habit. And I had to get checked every 6 months for 2 years. So the first 6 months I was pretty bad. After that, I went out one night and got drunk. And I don't remember what happened. I don't remember anything after my second drink. I wrecked my car. I wrecked the front and the back. I snapped the fuel line. So if I would have turned the keys forward, the car could have ignited and I would have died. Because I blew a very high, 327. So, and I don't know what I was doing. I passed up drinks. I had free drink tickets in my wallet, everything. Couldn't figure it out the next day. Hadn't made an irresponsible decision like that in a long time. And so I just said, I'm never drinking again. I'm not doing it. I don't need trouble. So I started working out, and I looked at Beachbody over and over and over. In fact, a couple of years ago, ordered Shakeology. And then I knew Alicia had the gym in town, so I called there to find out if there was a chance to learn how to be a personal trainer or something in physical fitness where I could really, really help people. Help people lose weight, get rid of diabetes, things like that. And I thought, this is what I want to do. And then Alicia and I got together on Facebook, and I was like, I'm going to do this. And so I had to do some talking. And I got my honey to go, yeah, all right, this sounds like you really want to do it. And I said, I do. I think I'll be good at this. This is what I want to do. And so that's my why. Plus, in the past, I had eating disorder, anorexia, really bad, many years. And school and nursing helped me with that. But of course, then I went the opposite. And instead of being too thin, then I became heavy and eating bad. And I just thought, I've got to do something. I'm not getting any younger. And that's my why.
And now you've been
Sober.
now you have not smoked or drank for what? You said a year?
I haven't smoked for 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, yep, this is a new one. I had to wait till I got so much sobriety under my belt. And I haven't drank for 1 year, 1 week, and 2 days. So
Good for you.
yeah, and
That's awesome.
thank you. And I feel so good. I shoveled the whole back patio in the front driveway today after my workout. I was like, yes. So yeah, that's my why.
Stacy, Lorley?
I can go next. I'm a lifelong Beachbody fan. I did P90X 7 years ago, and I did it with my husband. We bought it off an infomercial and said, hey, I wonder if it really works. I wonder if we're really going to get ripped, you know? And our objective was we want to look smoking hot when we go to the beach, when we go to Florida. That was the whole reason. Total vanity, nothing else. But we did it together, and it was actually nice because it's always better to have a workout partner. So we did that. And then we stopped, you know, you're done with it, and you're like, well, finish the program, whoop, and ate and went out with our friends and had a few drinks. And 2 years later, I was putting weight on it, and everyone told me, when you get to be 30, just wait. When you get to be 35, just wait. When you get to be 40, just wait. You know, you're going to have a harder time keeping the weight off. So a couple of years after that, I did Insanity. Just, again, bought it. That was when I actually went on Beachbody, teambeachbody.com, ordered it off of there, was assigned a coach, did that, was part of the message boards there. Facebook wasn't a huge thing at the time. You know, that was, 5 years ago or so. And there wasn't a lot of Facebook groups. And I wasn't on Facebook at the time anyway, so who knows? Maybe there was. But it was all on the message boards on Team Beachbody. And, you know, and I loved my Insanity group was all women and very encouraging. And I'm like, I logged in every day, gave the results, and it kept me going on the whole thing because I'm not a cardio fan at all. And Insanity, all cardio.
Yes.
So finished that one. I was super pumped. I brought my 5K time down. I was excited. I was loving life. And then I finished the program and I was done again. I'm done. A couple years later, I'm like, I'm going to buy P90X3 because I only have 30 minutes to work out. I'm a busy mom. And I did that and I couldn't get into it. It just wasn't the same as the other programs I did. I started it. I stopped it. I started Chalene Extreme, stopped that. You know, I couldn't stick with it and I wasn't very motivated. And the most recent here, I got 21 Day Fix and I enjoyed that. And I thought I can do that. That was one I could do over and over. And I think that's been just a hugely popular program because of the time, the portioning, which is such a big deal. But then last April, was it, right? Alicia, I went with Alicia to Super Saturday. I had never met her before in my life. Didn't even know she existed in the world.
Yep.
And I actually tagged along with another friend of ours.
Yep.
And I switched my coach. I had a local Wahpeton coach and I switched. I just felt a better connection with Alicia and her motivation and her enthusiasm for the products and for the programs and for Beachbody as a whole. And went in as kind of a discount coach, wasn't sure what I was going to do. And my mom approached me and said, hey, I want to be a coach too, just for the Shakeology. Sure. Great. Fabulous. I had no pressure, nothing. It was like, oh, this was easy. This was great. And it hasn't been as easy since, but that's kind of how I came into Beachbody. I'm an Emerald rank coach now. And I enjoy it. I'll tell you a little bit about my life. So my dad has had open heart surgery. Heart disease runs in my family. So for one thing, I don't go to the doctor really unless I have a cold. I don't even go for my annual, nothing. Because I feel great, so I should be great. So, and I don't want that to be my life story with my kids and with my family as another one in our family with heart disease. And so I'm trying really hard to eat healthy, be active, set good examples for my kids so that for the hereditary points of it, we try to ward off whatever we can by choosing the right foods, the whole foods, no processing, those types of things to live a long, healthy life. Mm-hmm. I also am a child of, my mom was one of those yo-yo dieters growing up. And when you think about, Alicia, you have 3 girls, and Lauralee, I think of Mallory, girls are so hard on themselves, on their self-image. And I think back to high school, if I wasn't thin, I just I felt like I was less of a girl if I wasn't skinny. And I was skinny. I graduated at 118 pounds, 5'8". I was skinny. And I never wanted to be overweight. I watched my mom yo-yo diet. And I told myself I will never be that, because she was never happy with who she was weight-wise and with her body. She still isn't. She's 66 years old and not happy with her body. And I don't want that for me either. I don't want to look at myself and not be proud of who I am every day. And I think part of it is making sure I stay healthy, because it's always been one of those things. I don't have to be a size 2, and I never will be a size 2. It's not who I am. But I want to be, I'm in that boat now where I want to empower other girls to start that healthy trend young. I don't want them to think it's okay to go and get Taco Bell slushies and whatever on a whim. Convenience food has just totally wrecked nutrition and health in our country. And I don't want girls to be content with eating junk and not taking care of themselves. I want them to be proud of who they are, no matter what size they are, but believe enough in themselves and love themselves enough so that they take care of themselves, starting young.
Exactly.
So that's kind of my why, plus how I got to be into Beachbody. I'm a Beachbody junkie. I just want to own all the programs, just so you know, and I want to do them all. And I have most of them. It's embarrassing, actually.
I think the same thing, having 3 girls. I just want them to learn what healthy is, again, so they don't have to go through the whole body image self-conscious thing that I went through. I mean, I was very overweight through all of middle school, into high school, through college. You know, I was the kid called fat, and I don't want that for my kids, because it is something that you will never forget. It has.
Well, and kids are mean.
They're mean.
And girls are the worst.
Yeah.
It's sad to say they are, and life's hard enough. We don't need to make it harder on everybody else instead of us. You know, it's.
It reminded me of a story, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but when I was younger, my daughter was a teenager. She's going to be 30, and I was really skinny. I was probably 85, 90 pounds. And so Natasha was never a skinny girl. She was always, very buxom, very beautiful body. I mean, curvy and gorgeous. And so she was trying to take diet pills. And I had to take her to, Jane Crump worked at Americare. Jane Crump was my nutrition and a couple psych classes in college. I had to take her to Jane Crump and tell her, please, Jane, tell Natasha I'm unhealthy, because she was so upset that her mom was skinnier than her, which of course is awful for any child. And my son suffers from a little bit of extra weight too. But I know what you're saying. It's good to empower our kids and teach them right. But I think bringing Natasha to that dietitian probably saved her from a lot of heartache, because eating disorders, I don't care which way it goes, are awful. And they're hard to get over. So thank you for sharing that. You just made me think of that. I hadn't thought about it for a long time.
Laura Lee?
Well, I'm a newbie from the sound of it. I've only come into contact. I've had friends that I've seen posts for Facebook for Shakeology and Beachbody, but only until last, I would say August was I maybe, and that was only with a connection with you, Alicia, I believe.
Yep.
At the gym. And my long story, but short story version is going to be that I've had a journey of up and down weight gain, loss. And I think you could just say that Beachbody probably encompasses a very balanced program versus any of the other programs I tried were always missing something. And I wasn't able to stay consistent with it. So, over in 2015, my health, I started seeing some symptoms of premenopause, hair loss, weight gain. I gained like 30 pounds from January to June-ish, July. So, I mean, it was just, and I was still going to the gym. I was making changes in my diet. but still really wasn't seeing, I was frustrated. So I'm kind of the philosophy that my body's wired to heal itself. That's how God's designed it, beautifully. But with all of the junk, the processing, all of the things, something obviously needed to be tweaked, and because I was seeing symptoms, something was going on. So I went to a nutritionist, a nutritional response test in Moorhead. I do believe in vitamins and some different things to kind of help your body. And so she told me my thyroid, my adrenal glands, and one other, pancreas or pancreatic. Anyway, all of those were tapped out. They were maxed out. I wasn't, they were so exhausted, they weren't performing how they should be. And in same breath that it was, I knew it, it was also, can I turn it around? And she said, yes. So I also knew, and she told me no gluten, no sugar. So I had an added incentive coming straight from the doctor saying, it's not working in your system. You're going to have to make some changes. I chose the nutritional response person, not because I don't believe in the medical doctors, but because I knew that I wanted to go to the source of my problem and not cover it up or try to fix it with a pill or medication. I'm not against medication. Mm-hmm. I just knew that wasn't a right fit for me. So long story short, I committed to doing Alicia's challenge group. She invited me in. Actually, I think Beth kind of connected me with, Beth's a talker. And she connected me in, and I said, I can do this. I can do the 21-day fix. I knew I could commit to that. I knew I needed that. And the Shakeology, I was already drinking a shake in my day. I felt that was good, but I thought I'll just change it up a little bit. And I haven't missed a shake since starting that. And the 21-day fix, I didn't see necessarily a huge change, but I knew internally I was seeing changes. And I just needed to stay with it. And so we did the November one, I saw some more changes. And my goal was just to stay consistent through the holidays as much as I could. Mm-hmm. And even through my Thanksgiving and my December, I still did my workouts, which I never would have done that in the past, ever. So I know that the accountability groups for me keep me accountable. Again, that was another package part of Beachbody. And so my why and my coaches is that people see me in a journey, and they're going to ask at some point. They have already, but of course in my family, I just feel better. And I know that I would like the product to pay for itself at some point. Right now it's coming out of my budget. So I just figured I might as well just join, in the hope that can gain momentum.
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was another, there was just no way. I thought if I'm going to have this every month, then I'm going to have to cover that cost because. Yep. Yeah.
So right now I am covering it, but my hope is that I won't have to for very long.
Exactly. Another thing we have 10 minutes. So I'm just going to kind of run through what I got. I also joined a Coach Basics group, which when I first got started, I joined a Coach Basics group, which now I'm currently running a Coach Basics group. We're actually on our final week. And that will be something that I will continue to run monthly. So I plan to run another Coach Basics group starting next month. So as you sign up coaches, just make sure that until you're comfortable running a Coach Basics group and getting your coaches started, make sure that you know that you can invite them into my group, next month. So starting in March, I'll have another one. I'm actually just finishing up my first one this week. So when I first got started in that Coach Basics group, we started reading The Compound Effect, and that taught me that like every day, if I just do something every single day, that it would over time create something bigger. And that's kind of where I started out as a coach. I just did my vital behaviors every single day, and it did. And every day I can see, I can see growth and I can see changes. And now that I've kind of created a routine for myself and my family, I have found out what works for us as far as trying to incorporate this into our daily life of, I already work as a full-time nurse and a mom and a wife. And so, of course, there's always sacrifices that need to be made, which for me is my sleep in the morning. I'm up by 4:30 and I work in my business and get my workout in. And then I spend the evening with my kids until they go to bed. And then I'm usually working Beachbody until I go to bed at night. So I don't watch TV anyway, so it doesn't really sadden me to not have that extra time in the evening. But, those are sacrifices that you will need to make as you continue to grow your business. So I just wanted to remind you that I'll start the 21-day fix group on Monday. And I believe, Stacy, you're starting a challenge group Monday too, correct?
Yep.
Is that an open program?
Yep.
Okay. So, you can always feel free to, you don't have to do a specific program when you do challenge groups. You can do it as an open, anybody's invited no matter what program they're doing, or you can make it program specific. So it's up to you. Once you start running your own challenge groups, you can kind of pick and choose however you want to get those set up.
And I'll explain to people. The reason I do the open one is because I have individuals that have one program, 21-day fix, or they have PIO, and they need that accountability. And so I make it so it's not specific, so that they can join it. They're not necessarily buying a new challenge pack, but I want to make sure that they're keeping going and I'm supporting them
Correct.
With what their goals are. And so I leave it as an open one just for that reason.
Yep. Yep. And I kind of I've done a couple just open ones. Like that Flabulous group that I had, that was an open program. And now it just got so big, and I've probably seen maybe a handful of people that really are, posting into it and being a part of it. So I kind of wanted to kind of streamline some of my groups. So it just depends. But anyway, feel free to always, invite your coaches and your customers into my group. And then I'll also be running another group in March. I do believe in March I will do an open group, just because this month with the number of challenge packs.
Yep.
You
can pick anything this month.
You can pick anything, everything on discount this month. And so I want just everybody to have the opportunity to get into a challenge group next month, no matter what they choose. I have a couple doing T25 right now. I have some doing 21 day. I have some doing that I want to start up in Sandy Max 30. So anyway, challenge groups supply you with credibility. So it's the easiest way to bring customers into the business by inviting. I always feel if I have something to invite them to, it's not being salesy. It's a good place where it's the place you're going to get your success stories, your testimonials. Your challengers are people that are someday going to be one of your maybe most successful coaches. So the people that have signed up under you, your coaches, your customers, I just ask that you will continue to support them through the challenge group, even if I run the challenge group and put the content into it, just so they know that you're supporting them and that you're in the group with them. So making sure that they get the best experience that they can get for the next 21 days. Because ultimately you want them to have a success story at the end of those 21 days. So they feel like so they feel like they got the best experience that they could get through that challenge group. So Success Club, I have always made it non-negotiable to hit SC5 every month. Some months I would hit SC10, but I basically make it non-negotiable to hit SC5 because that means that my Shakeology would be paid for every month. So I've been able to hit SC5. I've done it for the last 6 months. You can, it's kind of a personal goal. You can either, set your goals high. So I always set my goal at SC10 every month. But of course, SC5 is non-negotiable for me. So everybody has like their own personal goals. Posting into social media, you just want to make sure that you're posting into social media 3 to 5 posts a day. You can talk about your workout. You can show pictures of your meals. Stacey, we want to see yours.
It'll be out there.
You can share recipes. You can talk about health. You can incorporate any type of healthy living. Lauralee, you could talk about like gluten-free, those kind of things. It helps, people to relate to you. And it really opens up the floor for questions. Like I would have a lot of good questions for somebody if I knew that they were eating gluten-free. So that would be a really good idea for some of your posts. If you're traveling, talk about where you're traveling, some of your hobbies, your kids, your family, kind of a whole picture of you and how you incorporate healthy living into your lifestyle. Make sure to post onto Facebook 3 to 5 times a day. But another thing is to find one other avenue outside of Facebook to expand your market, because pretty soon your Facebook market will become saturated, I would say. Like, you're going to run out of your warm market and you're going to want to expand that. So you can do things like Instagram, you can do YouTube videos, you can create a blog. Any other ideas?
Covered all that I know.
Yeah, those would be the things that I would consider. So far, I've kind of been playing around with YouTube. I have a website that I'll eventually create into a blog. I just need to figure out how to get there. I need a lot of technical support in that area.
You're married to that.
Yeah, right. I'm married to that. That's why, that's his thing. Just make sure that you're engaging with other people and that you're supplying them with valued content. But be yourself when you're creating your post. Like you saw mine this morning. Yes, I've been feeling really crabby the last couple of days. It's true. It's real. And I kind of felt like I was spiraling out of control, and my husband pretty much sat me down and just told me that I have lost my cool with my kids a few too many times, and so it was pretty real. But I felt like by posting that, it made the rest of my day better.
Yep.
Yeah. When you share.
Can I share one quick story? I don't know if we'll get to it or not. So today, as I was getting ready to leave work, I'm in Bismarck traveling for